Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however this is finding you. I hope it's finding you doing very well. So today I feel like there's been a reoccurring theme in my conversations and in the networking meeting I've gone to that I had to bring it here as a topic to discuss. So basically the concept of don't judge a book by its cover has been very prevalent today. I went to a networking meeting and I have to say I'm very fond of this particular one because actually I love all of my networking meetings, but this particular one had some conversations today that I just hit home. When you're meeting someone, we often make assumptions, presume things, and doesn't really serve them or us very well in doing that. And I recognize too, from later conversations, how it's very human nature to do just that. We think we know someone, we know what they do, we're not going to have interest in what they're doing or who they are if this, that, and the other. And it's these preconceived notions that if it's this, they're this, if they do this, then this. And it's very interesting, and I'm checking my own self, shall I say, because as I go to different networking meetings, for instance, I have met a lot of different people that do life insurance, for instance, and it's not one size fits all. And just because they do that doesn't mean there's not other ways and things that make them unique and special, and obviously they're all valuable. We're all valuable as people. And so I thought it was really interesting. And then I went to another associate of mine's business because this girl has the need to get some business cards done, and my business cards were stale, to say the least. So when I got my business cards done, the gentleman, Zach, who's an amazing guy, I'll just name his name, but he's an awesome guy who has a printing company, and he was pointing out how you should put a little bit less on your business card to leave intrigue, and he's not wrong. Like, it's one of the things that I sometimes struggle with, and I'm working at being better at when it comes to meeting people and doing things in business, is leaving some intrigue, leaving some unanswered questions so that there's more questions to be had, more conversations to be had. And then also just digging in and recognizing that our job is just one part of us. What we do is just one part of us. And how many people have multiple facets of who they are and what makes them them. I know I do. I do payment processing. That's just one part of me. I work with a company that's Nilo Life that does amazing discounted travel and perks that have entertainment and activities and things. That's still just one part of me. I obviously have done a lot of personal development, and I discussed that. That's still just another part of me. I have a lot of different hobbies. I love to go into nature. I have an RV. I like to go camping. We're all very multiple faceted with many different parts of us, and it just brought to me the fact that we need to be aware and open and considerate and not judging who people are and not assuming because we know one part of them, we think we know all of them. It's generally not the case. We're all complex people, and we have lots of different parts of us that make us who we are. And one conversation generally doesn't bring that out. Unless you ask some deep questions, you're really not going to get to know people. And unless I ask some deep questions, I'm not going to really get to know people. And so it's been a very eye-opening thing for me to make sure that I'm checking myself, that I'm not just superimposing my thoughts about who a person is and what that person's about because I hear this or because I know this about them. That's just one piece of them. That's just one part of them. And how can we evolve? And how can we be accepted for the evolution that we are making if we're still being judged by that one part of us or piece of us or facet about who we introduced ourselves as, or maybe the one time we screwed up, that's all they're thinking about us, is the one time we regret, that we wish we would have said something different. And I don't know anybody perfect. I'm certainly very far from perfect, and thank God, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow. And so when I think about how we all change, I'm recognizing how I also need to be very conscientious about how I consider other people, and what I consider about other people, and how I'm open or not open, and becoming more open to considering who all they are and who all they're might be becoming. And maybe some people are stagnant, and that's okay too, that's them. And maybe they're just stagnant for that moment, and maybe it takes something else for them to change. And again, back to judgment. I just recognize that it's one of the things that I've issued a contemplation that I've had throughout a lot of my life about judgment that I just don't care for. And yet I recognize how second nature it kind of can be. So, food for thought. When we're judging people, what are we doing? We're hurting ourselves. When we're judging people, what are we doing? We're restricting the fact that there's parts of that person that we don't know, and we're never going to get a chance to know because we've already labeled them. We've already decided. So here's to being open. Here's to being a good listener. And here's to recognizing that we all have many parts to us, and that sometimes our best parts aren't showing at first, and that doesn't make it who we are. And or that maybe our best parts showed up first, but that doesn't mean that there aren't bad parts to us too, because we all have many parts. So, food for thought. Don't judge a book by its cover. And hopefully the more we don't do that, the more other people won't judge us by the cover we might have given them. So, I hope this finds you well. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye.